My favorite little ASMR sound. Ready? Love that. So this is my squatting week. And as you can see, the pants, I don't know if it's gonna be a PR in total weight on the bar, but I'm gonna try to go for a rep PR with maybe like 6 plates. I think. I usually predict things and I'm usually way off. So I'm gonna warm up with this. 2, 3, 4 plates probably do for like 1 or 2 reps, 5 plates for like 1 or 2 reps. I mean sets, like separate sets of like a single. I don't really do too much warming up, priming sets that are like right underneath the heaviest weight I'm gonna go. I'd rather stay away from it, create a little distance from the heaviest weight I'm gonna go and just hit that weight like twice. And then fucking just go for it and adrenaline the weight up. As what's that guy's name? Dude, it's like Eric something Hagen. I think his name's Eric, I don't know. But he does like all those, dude, he does those deadlifts where he like stand up and go like into the ceiling and he has a separate camera recording his face. And he's like, ah! Dude, I love that guy. He's so funny with like all the stuff he comes up with. He has like the straps on his shoulders and he's doing like a deadlift, but he also has another weight coming off of his body. And he has like bands. And he did like with that barbell that bends like crazy bend type of barbell. He did something else squatting with that and it was shaking and it's just hilarious, but he's actually incredibly strong. And I feel like he just kind of hypes himself up for like some crazy big lift, and I just love the way he does that. And that's kind of what I think of when I get like under my PR-ish or top set, not even PR, just top set weight. And I just gotta like get into his mindset of just like, you know, and whatever, just go for it. So let's warm up. It's gonna be a nice smooth little climb from 2 plates up to whatever. Oh shit, this is a 55. The ideal situation is no joints feel weird. Everything feels amazing, and I'm like, cool, as I'm warming up. Everything's cool. It's like, every set you're like, is something gonna pop up and feel weird? The next weight you go up is like, am I good? Is everything cool? Joints, elbows, everything? Right now, the fronts of my knees are feeling like just weird, and it's not something that doing leg extensions really fixes at all. And I think what's going on is I spent a good amount of time today in the computer with, when you're sitting, your glute is, you know, fully stretched. Your hamstring is fully shortened, and your knee is bent. And what I think I gotta do is honestly warm up like my ass in a weird way, because I'm not really focusing on growing my glutes right now. But when you're under squat patterns, hacks, leg press, lunges, regular barbell squats, Smith squats, anything squat pattern, if you have like asleep glutes, you're gonna feel extra pressure in your knees because you have these 2 main joints trying to lift the weight. One of them is not producing what it should be, and the other one is overcompensating. And if you ever feel like your knees, the fronts of your knees, right in the patellar, which is there's a patellar tendon, which is, you can kind of, the thing that the doctor hits and your knee flings forward, like at a doctor appointment. That's your patellar tendon. So if you're feeling any extra pressure there and the leg extensions isn't helping warm that up, it's probably up in your hips. The muscles in your hips are just kind of maybe asleep. So what I need to do right now is literally do the shit that girls do when they warm up their ass to go train their glutes. Is I need to like do these things, like these thingies where you kick, whatever, you kick back. And yeah, I'm gonna see if that helps, and I'll be right back. Flip you guys around. Yeah. So basically all I just did was just some external, you know, just glute medius, glute max, kind of kicking diagonally in the back and also behind me. I want to get my ass really warmed up because I feel like it's just dead asleep from the sitting I was doing today, which I really don't like. And the other thing that's really helpful for warming up your glutes, at least getting them engaged and caught up. I'm not saying warm them up like so they're burning, and then all the squatting stuff you do is all glutes. I'm trying to say like just catch it up to where it needs to be, like neutral. I'm negative on like the graph. I need to just come back to neutral. I don't want to go positive. So I want to get them good. The other thing to do besides like the, you know, ball and sockety kickback type stuff is just kind of like, I don't know if you ever heard of a Hatfield squat. A Hatfield squat is when you set up a bar right here and you have a bar on your back, like a safety bar, something that you don't need to hold on to, like an SSB or a safety bar or whatever, or even well, Smith machine would be weird, but you just kind of squat holding the bar like this. So your squats look like that, and an easy thing to do to warm up your ass is to do that, but with more of a sumo stance, and focus on stretching your ass and just contracting your butt, almost like you're doing a hip thrust in front of you, as opposed to a hip thrust to the ceiling like you normally see people or girls do, is to come down like this, minimal knee bend, and just thrust into the pole and squeeze your ass and just whatever. Anybody out there that has office jobs or a lot of seated activity during your day, when you get to the gym, you need to get your hips primed and warmed up on your back shit, your leg stuff, anything you're picking up things off the ground, anything squatting. If you're a machine person, this still applies to you. So I'm like here and just squeezing my butt, doing a hip thrust that way, pretending like my Megan's right here, and I'm just right in there. So now we're gonna get back in here, and hopefully I should feel better in my knees. Much better. Immediately I felt 100%, 180 improvement. I feel really good. Let's go heavier. Knees feel good. It's those stupid little things like that, man, that just kind of like warming up your back before you bench. Something so dumb and like not really on the forefront of what's gonna make my chest feel more pumped up. Actually really helps all your chest stuff is having warm lats and traps and mobile thoracic spine. Same thing with your quad focus days. Sometimes the shit up at your hips, like your glutes, are actually inhibiting how good of a quad workout you have because they're involved in the quad stuff you do, even if they're not your target goal. So just remember that when you guys hit your major muscle groups, especially you free weight lifters. Us, we are going extinct slowly. I know this is like a tragedy in front of our eyes unfolding where less and less and less people are benching, squatting, deadlifting, barbell rowing, but we're still out here and we're still making gains, right? Yeah. So 4 plates on here. This is kind of where I start to try, get serious. I gotta respect this weight. Bulking, cutting, I don't care. 400 pounds, still 400 pounds, so. Feels very good, I will say. I know you can't hear it, but the put me out of my misery part of giving up by Linkin Park is on right now. Remember in like middle school and high school, it would be, dude, pass me the aux. Or like, who's on aux? Miss those days. The 90s babies, we had a great childhood because we didn't have electronics other than like PlayStation 1, Xbox, and fucking pinball in your computer, a dial-up connection. And then as we got into like middle school, high school, it was like Xbox 360 came out, PS3 was out, more like cell phones were really common in things, games were like on your phone and stuff. With everyone getting their license, you would like, now your music's on your phone or like an MP3 player, and just having someone say, can you pass the aux? Just that sentence brings back so much nostalgia. Of like, what do you want to do? I don't know, let's go to McDonald's. And you get like a stupid 50-cent cone and listen to music and sit in the parking lot and smoke some weed behind your school's playground or something out of a Poland Spring water bottle or like an apple. That was usually it, right? It was the apple or the Poland Spring bottle or something. Back when weed was illegal and it was like, crazy. Should I do this again? I don't think I need to do this again. I think I'm feeling good. We're gonna go heavier. All right, gotta respect this. Come on. I think I'm gonna do that again for a single and get a little bit more confidence built in myself before I go heavier. So one advantage that I have over you recording all of my workouts is I get to actually watch how my sets look. And in my head, I go, oh man, that moved so slow. And then I watch it back and I go, oh man, that flew. And sometimes when you're doing your sets, you think you're done. Oh, that's my last one. And you might have a training partner that just knows you really well because you've been training with them, and they'll watch you and know better than you that you got more in you, but you think, oh, the weight's moving slow, or like you're doing your last curl and you think your form was bad, and they're watching like, no, you're good, do another one, So when I watch myself back, it always is faster on video than it feels in the moment of it, but regardless, I'm gonna do this for another single, and I should feel mentally, because dude, whatever happens on the video is whatever happens on the video. If in my head I'm not feeling 100%, that's really all that matters. So I'm gonna do another single with this, and I wanna feel like I own this bitch, and fucking through the ceiling. Yeah, like that felt 10,000 times better than the first rep. That felt so much better. Whether it was faster on camera than the first rep, I kinda don't care. In my head, I need to mentally feel like, cool, check, 5 plates, let's move on. In a more dieting environment, matching reps on a bulk, to me, is considered a huge PR. And you gotta remember, your PRs are usually the most you've lifted ever in your life, kinda objectively. And sometimes I think of context PRs. In other words, hitting let's say a 4-plate bench for one on a bulk, and then like 2 years later, hitting it at your lowest, weakest, lightest point on a diet, I consider that a PR. Because contextually, you know, you're PRing. Or another PR, I know this is kind of not current in terms of popularity, but I do multiple sets on just a few exercises. That's my approach, as opposed to 1 or 2 sets on many exercises. I just like taking what builds me the most and builds the most muscle for me. Cool, let me train that movement across different rep ranges. That's just where my brain goes, and that's been my approach for a while. I don't know if it's right or wrong, it's just what I do. So you can also look at your PRs as, instead of thinking of what's the most amount of weight I hit ever that day or in my life, and think on set 5, on my 5th set of squats or my 5th set of pull-ups or pendulum squats, is my 5th set the best I've ever done? And I have like a contextually I hit a PR. So for me in a diet, if I can do 6 plates, I believe for 4 would be the most I've ever done in like a calorie deficit environment. So I'm gonna try that. Megan's gonna be behind me. She's really just there in case something really bad happens. And even if something does bad happen, I think she would just get crushed and we would both go down. So yeah, let's give it a go. I don't have much to say, let's just do this. All right, ready? I got it. That's it. Good. As Ronnie says, yeah, it's heavy. Except he had like 200 more pounds. There's only 585 American Imperial minus, yeah, 572, so not quite 600. All right, so I was feeling kind of weird in the front of my knee, same patellar tendon spot as I was feeling earlier. And I walked around for a few minutes, I unracked all the plates, and I was like, ah, shit, I just feel weird, like my knees just feel weird. And I'm like, you know what, I hit a good set of 6, let's move on. And then after walking around for like 5 minutes of like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next, because normally I like doing a heavy set and then like a light set. And I was like, you know what, I feel good. So I put all the weights back on, and we're gonna do a 4-plate, as many as I can, and then get into leg extensions, hack squats, and find the exit, walk through that, and get the heck out of here. No drop set, just 4 plates, just 4 as a motorsports. I'm observing my fatigue. I'm just, you know, taking a look. What would you rather, high reps or low reps but dumb heavy? Ah, my knees feel really shitty. Yeah. I'm racking it. I'm gonna rack it. Oh man.
It's not good.
Well, I'm keeping that in because I don't just show my wins. I love when people say that. I don't just show my wins. I'm so noble. In my head, I got like 15 or 20 range. Not 20. Take it easy, Paul. I probably got a good 15, give or take a couple. And I'm really pissed that I didn't actually do it in real life. I'm gonna relax with this. If leg extensions feel good, I'm gonna do those. There we go. Oh yeah, guys, check out this haircut. Dude, this guy, he was really cool. He's really nice. He's never cut my hair before. I told him to like fade my beard, you know, up into this. Dude, he literally gave me from math class a fucking parallelogram of a beard. just 2 lines. And he left it like that. And I'm like, yo, that's not a sideburn. That's just like a, oh, this is hairs, whatever. Look at that. Literally a straight, what's the other one? A rhombus. Dude, he rhomboided my face. Wait, there's parallelogram, rhombus, not rhomboid, that's a muscle, and trapezoid. So I got a nice little one of those things going on here. If only I cut this off and I just had a nice, whatever that is, shape. I am pissed that that just happened, but it is what it is. Squats, leg extensions in the middle, hacks at the end. These microphones, one cool thing I like about them that might be obvious to you, but to me it's not, is that when there's music playing on the speakers, it doesn't pick up, you know, the music. So I can listen and enjoy music, but not have to worry about copyright. And the song that's on right now, who had NHL 2002 for PlayStation 2? The opening intro song was Sum 41, Fat Lip, as like the game loaded. And that's on right now, and it just, I don't know, this is a very nostalgia 90s baby themed leg day. And if you were not from that era, you missed out. But then like all the 80s babies or the 2000s babies, like, no, my generation's the best. Leg extensions are really fucking boring and really simple and easy and not much to say. But this is a mental exercise. The amount of muscle I'm building on this compared to a squat is comparing this to this. However, what this can do for me is the remainder of my workout is going to be really damaging to my quads, which is what I want. I want fatigue, and I want soreness, and I want pain, and I want agony, and I need to be sore for like 4 or 5 days, or else it wasn't a good workout. That's my mentality, and that's how I train. If you wake up the next day and you go, oh wow, I'm sore. That's crazy. That's like, dude, what are you talking about? That's like the mandatory is you're sore, at least for a day. You know, so when I do this in the middle and then I kill myself on hack squats, my quads are sore for days, especially with squatting first. Oh my God, it's the best trio I could ever come up with for a leg day. Squats, extensions in the middle, hack squats to finish, or pendulum to finish, or Smith machine, like wicked tall hack squat mimicking to finish. But this is a mental exercise right here. This is about going past your limits mentally. And when you get to here, it's not gravity. It's get to here, and then I lower this with my quads. Explode, lower, explode. And even here, I want tension way down here. This feels really good on my knee. See, a little clue. Leg extension, single joint stuff, if that makes your knees feel good, yet multi-joint stuff makes it feel funky, it's not your knee that's causing you a problem, it's your ankle or probably your hips. And if it's your ankle, you're gonna probably feel it more in the inside of your knee. Because if you have a arch support, your arch, if that collapses and your ankle's pronate, the next chain link is your knee joint, and usually that might collapse, internally rotate. And when that internally rotates, you're taking this joint here, that's like your elbow, and you're like bending it. You're making something that should be a straight line, trying to make a straight line at you guys, something that's a straight line, and you're bending it like that. So you have ankle, knee, hip, and that's not good. So a little clue for you is that if your knee feels good on extensions, single joint exercise, but hurts on multi-joint exercises, there's something going on ankle or hip. It's not your knee. The symptoms show up there, but the root thing that you need to address is upstream or downstream. God damn. All right, guys, so this is set number 4. I did 3 regular, and now for this set, what I'm gonna do is 10 all the way, normal reps, and then I'm gonna do 10 at the, like basically here, like 10, initiate the reps for 10, and then I'm gonna squeeze the reps for 10, and then as many as I can till I can't do anymore, down to the partials, down to the end. So 10 regular. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holy shit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ow! Oh, this hurts so bad. Oh! When you get up from these sets, I just want to go and just punch something. Not you guys, though. Not you guys. I wouldn't be here without you guys. There's somebody that makes me upset. Lift, run, bang. I fucking hate that guy.
Do not include that in your video.
All right, and the trick is to go right from leg extensions, no rest, no break, no nothing, and get your hack squat or your pendulum squat or your goblet squat or your Sam Sulek, Tom Platz sissy squat or something ultra quad focused in a machine. And you're gonna take these reps Nick Walker style, ultra slow, and just go to a place of solitude, pause, and drive up. After getting out of that machine and walking over to this thing without a break, this shit's pretty tough with not a lot of weight. And at the top, it's hard to tell on camera, I'm not here. Once I stack my joints, dude, I can chill here for forever. It's locking out here. You might be able to see it. I'm not locking out my knees. So I'm keeping tension, 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 grabbing the platform with my feet. And even at the bottom, I'm not just sitting on my joints. I'm still on my quads. And come up, don't lock out. Right when you get to 90% range of motion, right back in it, no pause. Half the speed on the way down as on the way up. Oh. Dude, this sucks. But doing shit that sucks gets results. Just remember that. Doing shit that sucks gets results. Fuck. I know there are people that can do 7, 8, 9, 10 plates per side on the hack squat. For me, I do it last, usually, and I'm resting, like, until my breath comes down. It might be 40, 60 seconds, and then I go back in it, and I'm purposely using the squats as the hard, heavy, power, low reps, I got high reps, whatever. This, for me, is very slow, methodical eccentrics and powerful concentrics, and I'm kind of new at doing that. Mostly I was inspired just by Nick Walker and watching people with really fantastic legs in the size, just the big size department. And I think that not necessarily is the number of reps they do important, but it's the total time that their sets take. Elliot Dermond, for example, his legs are so insane, but he is very methodical about his tempo. And maybe for me, that might be something I'm gonna see some growth in. I'm gonna try it. The gym for me is trial and error, and a lot of it is error, and a lot of it, or a small amount of it is like, oh, that works. Okay, cool, that's in my this works for me category, and then this stuff is in the doesn't work for me category. And for me right now, training squats kind of like powerfully, and then hack squats also powerfully, I think I need to create a little bit of variety. So the reason why I'm doing these with not crazy amount of weight is because I'm not resting a lot, and I'm doing them really, really slow, and I'm doing them last. And I'm purposely getting super tired on this, on the fucking leg extension. It's this eccentric that fucking sucks. One more, come on. One more. Yeah, it blows. It sucks. All right, guys, all the heavy, fun stuff is over. We are on this weird, weird in a good way, kind of uncommon calf raise machine where for those 6 foot tall men, you get to use the bottom one, and for us 5 foot and change men, we go up here for the booster seat version. And with this one, tricky thing that I know you do, because I've done it and I can't be the only one, is as your reps get harder, which is where gains happen. The gains happen where it's hard, okay? So let's say this is rep number 8, 9, okay, starting to get hard, 10, it's starting to get really, really hard. Okay, I'm going into my really hard reps, and the instinct is going to be, I want to get to this position. Here's point B, and here's point A. And how do I get from here to here when I'm really tired and my calves are burning and everything is hurting and I want to be over and this is boring? Well, something that I guarantee you do is that when you go to do that rep, you will use a little bit of this action, a little bit of knee. I don't know if you can see it. It's really subtle. I was exaggerating, but it's very subtle. You're gonna transfer weight from the gastrocnemius, the big calf that you wanna get bigger, to your soleus, which comes, you know what your soleus is, I don't need to tell you. So as your reps get really hard, it is better to abandon your attachment to this finish line point B and go, I can't get all the way there unless I quads push soleus the weight up. It's better, in my opinion, to just stay with your form and just get smaller range of motion, AKA partials, and getting your money reps that avenue, as opposed to I have to go all the way to point B. But for me to get there, I don't have all the strength in my gastrocnemius to get me there, so I'm gonna recruit something else. And I might recruit a little momentum, a little soleus, a little something. And for me on this, I lock my knees straight, and I come down to a point that I feel the most crazy, crazy stretch in my calves. And I didn't ever until I started bringing my feet a little bit higher on this platform and thinking of it less like I'm pushing through the tips of my toes and more like I'm pushing really through like the halfway mark on my sneaker. And I'm thinking of this, there's a bone in the front of right here, called your talus bone, T-A-L-U-S, talus. That talus bone is a big range of motion limiter for a lot of people, where they go to try to get knees over toes, which applies in a calf raise. You need knees over toes kind of mobility to get a deep stretch in your calf, but you might feel a compression in the front here, and that's your talus bone. And even if your ankle mobility is really good from behind, where your calves are, your soleus, your plantar fascia, all that good stuff back here, your Achilles tendon, you might be just getting compression in the front, and it's totally cool. I swear, you can beat mobility into your joints safely over a prolonged amount of time. So instead of thinking of calf raises, at least on something like this, is instead of worrying about getting all the way from A and all the way to B, no matter what, I want to incorporate range of motion, as far range of motion as I can without changing my form and bringing in my soleus. And the way that I'm doing it is I bring my feet a little bit higher, and I'm thinking of my talus bone going to the ceiling if this is the orientation that I'm in. I want to think of I'm not thinking of pushing my toes forward, I'm thinking of bringing this that way. Think of that. Like I'm trying to come up with this as opposed to this going that way. And by getting into that mentality, the next step that comes forth for me, in my opinion, is bringing your feet higher on the platform or whatever thing you're standing on. So instead of being down here and pressing with my toes, I'm pressing more here with like the major chunk of my foot, and I'm getting a stretch here. And look how much my foot comes off. And I'm thinking of getting that talus bone to go that way as opposed to my toes pushing forward, therefore pushing me this way. That's pretty much all I got for calves. It's not that exciting. I want to stretch, pause, contract, stretch, pause, contract, stretch, pause, contract. If your feet start slipping, that's fine. Readjust. No point in getting shitty reps. Stretch, pause, contract, stretch, pause, contract. And see right here, I can't get all the way to point B, so I'm just gonna hit as far as I can without changing my form. As soon as you can go again, I recommend going again. And calves is not a once a week thing, in my opinion, if they're stubborn for you. Like my arms are stubborn for me, my hamstrings are stubborn for me, my calves are stubborn for me. Basically everything on my body is fucking stubborn for me besides like my chest and maybe my back. Everything else, dude, fucking pain in the ass for me to grow. So the calf muscle, the bicep muscle, the tricep muscle, whatever it is for you, muscle X that you have, there's gotta be shit that you do outside of the textbook norm, conventional, whatever, assuming you've exhausted all of that. Like if you've done that world of like the norm, the traditional, the whatever, you need to do some shit outside of the box because your muscle is giving you stubbornness that is also outside of the box and not typical. So you have to do atypical shit because your muscles are atypically not growing like they would for someone else. So for me, I think the high rep stuff with these exercises on calves is awesome. And I think another day per week where you have like 2 to 3 days in between training them is where you go longer rests and like really heavy and maybe choose a different exercise. Smith machine on a little step up thing, or if your gym has a really good standing calf raise. But just remember, you might be 100 reps worth of a calf workout and only 10 to 20 of them are even good reps. Because as your reps are getting tired, the last 3 reps, the last 4 reps are really your money building gains reps. But what if those reps for you, you like fuck off on them and you don't do them right and you move and you twitch and you get whatever, or you just stop trying altogether, which is like the worst. You might as well stay home. You come to the gym and you don't try, come on. So just make sure your reps that build muscle, the end of your set, make sure those reps are just as good as your first few. And with an exercise as small and short range of motion and not this big CNS loading my whole body, I get a stomach ache thinking about calf raises because I'm so scared of them. It's a pretty chill exercise. And the thing that I would recommend is making sure that your partials are where you veer off to when the set gets hard, as opposed to changing the muscles being used as the set gets hard. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna do as many reps as I can here until they shut the lights off. Actually, someone just walked in, so I'm gonna probably get 5 more minutes. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you are one of the people pushing me up. Last time I made a video, I was looking at 500 subscribers, 600, now I'm looking at 800 something. It's fucking insane. So if that's one of you and you're helping me build this channel up, and I'm in turn helping you in your gym experience, and we're creating a mutual bond relationship, all I can say is thanks. It means, I can't even say what it means to me. It just means so much to me. And I hope someday that this channel is big enough, people kind of know who I am, and we can meet up at like an expo or some event or some gym, wherever. That would be my dream come true, is for me and you guys to be able to chill somewhere, hang out, work out, get some food, do something. So if you're out there and you're liking my videos and commenting, engaging, subscribing, and doing all that stuff, man, it's just the coolest thing in the world. And from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. And I'll see you for chest tomorrow.